the results are in. Let's check it out. Welcome back to another episode of TC with Lily, a day in the life of a real estate transaction coordinator. We're back. As you see from the title, I'm going to be discussing self-sabotage. What is it? How do I recognize or identify these patterns? And why do I do this? Before we get started, hit that subscribe button, share this video, and make sure as we're going along in this video, you are dropping your comments if you can relate, if you have questions, and just your overall thoughts on this topic. I would love to hear from you. Self-sabotage affects all of us. I'm pretty sure each and every one of us on a daily basis, or at least at some point in time, we have gotten in our own ways of accomplishing goals and achieving things that we set out to do. And no, I'm not exempt from that rule. So let's get into it. I was talking with my coach about this exact topic, and she mentioned that there is a test you could take. So throughout this video, I'm actually going to be taking this test to pretty much determine, I'm looking at my laptop right now, and I don't know if you noticed, I'm in a different space. Currently still in the process of creating an office space for myself. Office tour video coming soon. I'm nowhere near done. But as you see, different color wall. That's probably going to change. This was my nephew's old room. It was a smaller room. He's upgraded. And I'm turning this into my studio / office. So in there into interior design, send me some office ideas. I need those as well. Before we get started, I pulled up a definition from Psychology Today. Feels like a valid resource. And what is self-sabotage? Let me give you this definition. Behavior is said to be self-sabotaging when it creates problems in daily life and interferes with long-standing goals. The most common self-sabotaging behaviors include procrastination, self-medication with drugs or alcohol, comfort eating, and forms of self-injury. I'm not going to drop the list, but you get the idea. People aren't always aware that they are sabotaging themselves, and connecting a behavior to self-defeating consequences is no guarantee that a person will disengage from it. Still, it is possible to overcome almost any form of self-sabotage. Yay. Behavioral therapies can aid in interrupting ingrained patterns of thought and action while strengthening deliberation and self-regulation. Motivational therapies can also help reconnect people with their goals and values. So I was just kind of skimming through as I was reading that. So think about something in your life where you've set a goal. For instance, let's say I want to double my income this year. So what would I do next? I can come up with a plan. My goal is to double my income this year. Come up with a plan, break down that plan into steps, and then take action, right? Seems very simple, seems easier said than done. I know I have definitely missed the mark on some of my goals, either due to poor time management, procrastination, self-sabotage, fear, insecurity, lack of confidence, all of those things. But over the years, I've done better at equipping myself with the tools and the resources, the people, the mentors, coaches that I need to inspire me and just equip myself with the proper tools that I have in place so I can just continue to progress in life and in business. But when it comes down to moments where I just don't feel like doing anything, I know I've gotten to points in life where I will have an idea and find ways to get out of it. So I'll gradually decrease the steps that I need to take to get there and replace it with a whole different idea. And that is life. You know, some ideas work, some don't. But where I was getting stuck was not following through with the first idea to begin with and seeing where that could actually take me, and knowing it was a solid idea that I wanted to pursue, and procrastinating and prolonging the whole process because it was too overwhelming or too scary, and it just was too many unknown factors, right? And that's pretty much what happened with the podcast. I've had this podcast idea for years. I've known about podcasts for over a decade, and I always knew I wanted to have one. But I didn't want it to be about real estate. I was avoiding it. I was just like, oh, that's going to be more work for me. I don't want to do that. I want something fun to talk about. I want to build community, all these things. And I avoided it. I procrastinated. I tried so many other things that didn't work out, all because I was avoiding and procrastinating and getting in my own way about a topic that I know I could provide value and have fun with, and just change the narrative within this industry. And that's basically how the podcast came to be. I just submitted. One day I just gave in and was like, I'm going to try this and do whatever it takes and not stand in my own way. And it all just fell into place. Like, it's the flow of it has been so natural. And then I look back and wonder, like, well, why was I so scared? What was I running away from? What was I avoiding, right? And it's not to say that now that I've started the podcast, transactioncarepodcast.com, go give it a listen. I just did a few amazing interviews and more to come, so stay tuned. But basically, it doesn't mean like the progress of my podcast has been perfect. Of course, I still run into time management issues, but now my motivating factor is, and my why and my foundation is so solid to the point where I'm not avoiding doing those things because I don't want to or because I'm scared of it. It's just life happens. My attention is being taken in other ways, and I could be just spreading myself too thin, doing several projects at once. So maybe it's time to reevaluate and see where I can scale or outsource or hire help, right? So I'm growing and learning through this process, and I'm going to take this test that my coach suggested to me. It's actually a part of what I was supposed to submit for my weekly check-in. It's like my homework in a sense. So I'm going to take this test. It's on, I'll put the link in the description below. Take it with me and let me know your results. So basically, it's to find out what kind of saboteur you are, which is interesting because I didn't know that there were categories to this. If you hear noises outside, don't worry about it. My neighborhood is lively, and it's also garbage night, so you're going to hear a lot of bottles and recycled being shuffled around. But anyway, how we self-sabotage. So this is what the website says. It's positiveintelligence.com/saboteurs. I'm going to struggle with that word, but either way, it says saboteurs are the voices in your head that generate negative emotions in the way you handle life's everyday challenges. They represent automated patterns in your mind for how you think, feel, and respond. They cause all of your stress, anxiety, self-doubt, frustration, restlessness, and unhappiness. They sabotage your performance, well-being, and relationships. Already, I'm into it. This is my first time on the website. Okay, well, second time, but this is my first time navigating the whole website and taking this quiz or this test just to see what kind of saboteur that I am. So without further ado, let's just get started. I don't know where to start. Okay, here we go. Discover your saboteur. It's loading. Okay, 9 ways we self-sabotage. So I don't know how long this is going to take. I hope it goes by pretty quickly so we can, for the sake of this video. So I'm just going to read through this and go through it with you, but assessment overview based on Shirzad Sharmine's, I hope I said that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Sharmine. New York Times bestseller and Stanford lectures. Research included 500,000 participants, world-class athletes, leaders from every Fortune 100 companies. 9 ways we self-sabotage. Let's get into it. Instructions: move quickly and go through the first response that comes to your mind. Don't worry about being consistent when you notice similar or overlapping questions. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. Let's go. All right. Okay, so there are 50 questions. Bear with me. I'm just going to breeze right through this. It says to move through it quickly, so I'm going to do just that. Hoping it takes no more than 5 minutes, but also this is my test. You take it as well, and I want to see what your results were if you don't mind sharing publicly. Obviously, I don't mind sharing publicly because I am here posting this on YouTube and social media.